Yo, what's popping off, you beautiful, beautiful Guardians? If you guys are new here, please consider getting subscribed. This is the last TWAB before Witch Queen comes out, so I know you guys are going to want to be, up to date because honestly, from what I've heard, there's a lot of Gambit talk, And if any of you guys know, I love Gambit. I am a master invader when I play on Hunter. That golden gun, pew pew, gotta love it. But we're going to go over the TWAB. It's the last one before Witch Queen, so we might as well take a look at it. I think I'm going to do weekly TWAB videos going forward. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. And I do read the TWAB every week. I just don't, really post it anywhere, like in terms of like me going through it or whatever. So this is that. If you guys enjoy the video, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up, get subscribed, and let's break this TWAB down real quick. Alrighty, so as we all know, this week at Bungie, we are but days away from the launch of Witch Queen. We're finally here, the last TWAB before the Witch Queen. Over the last few weeks, we've been touching on new systems arriving on February 22nd, picking through some quality of life changes for the rituals you engage with, and even spending some time with the team in a full-length video documentary to set the stage for what's coming. We have a few topics left to cover, but only a few days stand between you and the next chapter of Destiny 2. I'm already excited. Season of the Lost is wrapping up this week. No better way than with a final mission, which is bugged by the way, to tee up our next expansion. Have you played through yet? No? Well, get in there. We know the Witch Queen is coming, but this is a fun close to the season that you won't want to miss. As a note, the team has been investigating a few issues with the activity since it went live. There you go. You may need to play it a few times for the quest to complete, and we ask that if you're matchmaking in, please don't skip the cutscene. Outside of that, we also have an exotic ship to cap off the season that we will be distributing at a later date to players who own Season of the Lost. Stay tuned for updates. So good old intro. If you completed the mission and already reading this TWAB, I'd assume you're gobbling up every bit of information you can before release. Have you seen the launch trailer yet? Okay, and then I guess they just give you a link to the launch trailer. Truth be told, we've been replaying this trailer in my head for the last week or so. What does it all mean? Well, we'll all find out next week when the expansion goes live. And it looks like they're just like giving more information on like the glaive and the launch trailer and all that good stuff. So we're not gonna talk about it. Oh. And here's the juicy part. Drift is hungry, baby. No, not for Hive, but for the spotlight. Well, maybe some Hive too, but let's focus on gameplay as we continue to improve and iterate on the rituals of Destiny 2. Gambit is taking center stage. This isn't a teardown or a rebuilding of an existing mode, but a moment for our teams to realign on goals and how we're serving up the goods to our players. That sounds spicy. That sounds real good. A few months back, the development team walked through our first ritual update focused on Trials of Osiris. When you look at it, there weren't numerous changes, but targeted pieces of tuning and adjustments to push a healthier experience. Engram focusing and Trials were introduced to help players earn that sweet piece of loot that they've always wanted, which is, I'm still chasing my subsistence rampage Chroma Rush. I'm still chasing it. Engram focusing and Trials ranks were introduced to help players earn that sweet piece of loot they always wanted, even if they weren't winning many matches. Minor changes to passage and matchmaking were made to help get more players into Trials. Yeah. Freelance and labs weekends continue as we gather valuable data to inform the future of the mode. At the end of the day, Trials is still elimination and Saint is still a badass, which is damn true. With Gambit or any mode we may update in the future, you can expect a similar approach. Let's see here. Today, principal designer Alan Blaine will be joining us to break down our goals for Gambit and what changes the team is making to get us where we want to be. Alan, when we added Gambit back in Forsaken, it fell in the fall of 2018. Was it really 3.5 years ago? That is a long time. We were closing a gap in Destiny pursuits. We had lots of places in the game to shoot aliens in the face or juice box, and we had places where you could face off against other Guardians, but we had no place where you could face off against Guardians by shooting aliens in the face. Yeah? Fundamentally, Gambit is a PvE firefight mode, culminating in a race to kill the boss first. Meanwhile, you can throw small and large roadblocks in front of the other team racing you. or B, the roadblock by invading opponents, which is where I shine as an invader. Powered up and loaded for bear. Later that year, we added Gambit Prime, which was fire. A souped up Gambit with armor-based player roles, and then it really didn't change much for a couple of years. With Beyond Light, we streamlined both versions into what Gambit is today, combining some of the best parts of the original Gambit and Gambit Prime without attempting to transform the mode or address much of the feedback Gambit had generated over the years. Man, it has been a wild journey with Gambit. Now that I'm just reading this and thinking about it, over the last few months, we've taken a pass at Gambit to address said feedback and realign the mode with many of its original goals. I'm excited for this because from what I've heard, it's a little weird, but at the same time, it's also very powerful what they're doing. Ultimately, we believe it is important that in Gambit, you can showcase both your skill at fighting in Destiny and the variety and focus of your arsenal. It should be just as inherently fun and rewarding to shoot aliens in the face in Gambit as it is elsewhere, which is, I would agree with that. A good invader should be able to turn the tide of a match, but a good invader should be no more important than any other equally skilled team member. A good invader does not have to mean PvP god loaded up with the best tracking one-hit kill weaponry. So goodbye 1K, I guess, and Sleeper? I hope not. I mean, I hope it, stays relatively easy to invade, for me at least. I mean, I'm pretty cracked though. I use a scout rifle. Not a lot of people do that. That's the sauce. Players defending against invaders should have ample tools to fight invaders without worrying about using up ammunition, dealing with tougher enemies, and players should have methods for recovering from a devastating invade. Okay. It should be rare that a match is out of your hands as a player or that an outcome is preordained early in the match. Working together with your team to overcome tough enemies, the prime evil, a high-value target, or an invader should feel as gratifying as a hard nightfall. Okay. I think the overall, fundamental gameplay that Gambit brings right now is good. Obviously, it needs some tweaks in terms of damage values and ammo, but let's keep reading. While we don't always hit those marks, Gambit has a healthy and stable population. Ultimately, we want to make Gambit more appealing to a wider audience by addressing points of player feedback and improving upon what exists, without changing the core nature of the mode. Our hope is that this leads to more players engaging for longer. Upcoming changes fall into 5 categories: core activity, ammo economy, that's what I was thinking, primeval tuning, invasions, and rewards. So those last 4, to be 100% honest with you, are what I'm more interested in, because the ammo economy freaking sucks. I never find special. Primeval tuning, the primeval sometimes can be a little squishy, but then on that same coin, they can be way too chunky. You know what I mean? So I feel like a mid balance. If they wanted to make it more accessible to most players, then excuse me, geez. Then they should do some primeval tuning. Invasions, honestly, are fine, because there are times where I go in and wipe a team, but then there are other times where I go in and don't do anything. You know what I mean? So it just depends on. I feel like they're gonna give the team that's being invaded overshields or something, or a buff or something like that that's gonna make them take less damage. And if they did that, it would suck. It would not be all that. I would not enjoy that, because there are skilled invaders. But there are also not very skilled invaders, or people who just are on a team of no one who really does invading all that much. And then they're kind of ass out when it comes to, recovering after an invade, what, like they put it, a devastating invade. So we'll have to see. That's the one that I'm very specifically tracking, because I'm my team's invader every trip. Nightwatch with snapshot rampage, my Null Composure, and my 1K. And if they make it to where one-shot kills aren't going to be a thing anymore, it's going to make it a lot more, you know, tricky to get those invades off. So let's keep reading. These core activity changes. These changes are all about enhancing teamwork or making the mode easier to play and understand. Freelance node added. This is one thing that I remember talking about that I didn't want. So we're going to have to read through this and see. We think it's important that players feel like they always have a chance at winning. And we see over and over again that full stacks of friends or clanmates have a significant advantage over groups of solo matchmade opponents, which is true. The modes we have added freelance nodes to, Iron Banner, Glory, and Trials of Osiris, all feel like they end up with more balanced matches more often, even as they increase and split the number of matchmaking pools, which is true. We are investigating ways to remove the need for freelance nodes that split the population and hope to have something for you later this year. In the meantime, the ability to queue for Gambit Freelance should be very useful. Rotating seasonal selection of curated encounters starting in season 16. So I have a feeling that this means that there's going to be weekly bosses like there was with whatever that 9 activity was, where you go across a bridge and then you got to fight the boss at the end. So if there are weekly rotating or even daily rotating prime evils, that'd be sick. In Classic Gambit Prime, you got a randomly selected encounter from a list of 3 each enemy race on each map in Beyond Light. Due to the production issues, we were only able to bring 1 of 3 variations forward into the new activity. Those issues have been fixed, and we are now bringing the missing variations forward. Playing with a single variation for race/map for a year led us to an interesting observation. It's fun to know that Hive on Pacifica means, oh god, those Shriekers, and to learn the spawns and master them over time. Maybe not interesting for an entire year, but we think it will be interesting to have a set rotation of spawns for a season over those 3 months. Really master each encounter. Okay, so no more Shriekers on Pacifica for now, but they will be back later in the year. Okay. The Shriekers suck. Respawn points added to all fronts. Sections of the map where enemies could cycle in or out. It can be frustrating to always have to run all the way from the backfield or after spawning before you are able to help teammates, fight the invader, collect drop motes, etc. It can also be very frustrating as an invader to always spawn in the same location on the same map multiple times in a row, or to have the invader camp the entrance to avoid confrontation. We don't camp around here, we push. More respawn points spreading throughout the fronts should help you get back into the action faster and provide for less predictable spawn points during invasions. Players always drop half the motes they were carrying when they were defeated. I don't like that. I don't like that. These can be picked up by anyone, including invaders. Invaders can also drop more motes now. This makes recovering from a ruthless invader or bad luck fighting enemies a little easier. I don't like that. Nope. Because, first of all, no invader in their right mind would go in with motes. So that's the increased motes on the invaders. Yes, that's fine. I get it. But having a really good invader go and wipe a team with 3 15 stacks and then having them be able to get half of that back, I feel like it's just going to feel rushed. I feel like the game is just going to feel so quick. I just don't think that's a good choice. Players can be revived by other players 2 seconds earlier, and auto respawn is delayed 2 seconds. Okay. We want to emphasize and reward teamwork as much as possible. Bring your teammate back, and saving them a run now is even easier. This change should also reduce the frustrating moments of teammates being forced to respawn as you're halfway through the revive interact. Yes, thank you. When your teammate dies and you run to grab their drop mote, stop for a second and revive them, will ya? Will ya? All shields have increasing resistance to non-matching damage types. Thank you. Thank you. Now it's going to make you feel like you have to build your team versus just going in with whatever guns you have equipped at the time and being able to take out everything super easy. I like that. Rules of Gambit node added to the launch screen, and numerous Gambit-specific hints have been added to the load screen. Gambit can be a bit opaque to newcomers. This should give them a leg up. Sweet. Sick. Fucking sick. Oh, this is a big TWAB. This is a fat boy TWAB. Okay. Okay, let's go back up. Let us go back up. We'll read through this first bit really quick. Blockers draining in the bank. While we didn't do any drastic adjustments here, we have a few tweaks we think will increase interesting decisions both when sending and battling blockers, and hopefully remove the feeling of helplessness as you pour ammo into 3 knights as all of your motes drain away. Yes, 10 mote Phalanx blocker has its health boosted a bit. Okay, so the medium blocker had a boost to health. While they are a good positional challenge with their shield and knockback, we felt like they weren't quite enough for their mote cost compared to the knight. That's solid. Okay, so we increased their health. That's okay. 15 mote knight blocker gains a stasis attack. Gambit's gonna get harder. We originally planned to pull its health down some as we felt it was a little too beef for 15 motes, but with the ammo changes below, we didn't find the current health onerous in playtesting. Gotta love it. We didn't think that they could be more tactically interesting with the stasis attack without necessarily making them more deadly or harder to kill. Mote drain for multiple blockers continues even if the opposing team is in primeval state. What? This will help the team that is behind get to the primeval a little quicker. It's never felt great to send out over 4 blockers only to have the enemy team ignore them, all while still being severely behind. This also gives the team in the lead a bit more incentive to kill blockers during their primeval phase. Mote drain is paused if a player is near the bank and engaging blockers. Okay, mote drain is... I just read that. It never feels great to have your motes draining away while you pour primary ammo into 3 taken knights. Okay, yeah. Ammo economy. Our goal for these changes are to make a more predictable and equal baseline of special and heavy ammo. Thank you, among all players. We will be watching both feedback and analytics around ammo, gain, and usage rates, and we'll continue to make tweaks if these aren't enough to make fair matches. Buff scout rifles, Bungie. Buff them. Make them stronger, please. I need it. I need it. When completing a front, a chest containing a small amount of special and heavy ammo spawns in the middle of the front and can be looted once by each player. It times out at 20 seconds after the initial interact, so you still can't dilly-dally. Killing a high-value target spawns 1 normal heavy brick for each player. Dope. During the primeval phase, ammo chests spawn in one of the fronts every 60 seconds. Dope. This replaces the regular front ammo chests, but you still need to find the time to go grab it. Okay. So when it gives the other team time to catch up. Limited special and heavy ammo bricks to only spawn from enemies if you have finder mods equipped. Wait, limited special and heavy ammo bricks will only spawn from enemies. Other ammo exotic perks like Aeon Cult still work. Just give us ammo. Like, come on. The Primeval Fight. The Primeval Fight is the ultimate challenge of Gambit. It should feel like an epic boss fight and be long enough for the opposing team to get off some invades to counter strong DPS. Yes. It should have more to do than simply burning the boss as quickly as possible and turn in place to kill every envoys every once in a while. Its mechanics shouldn't be complex, but should require about as much tactical play as a high-end strike boss. Okay. Still don't like it, but let's figure out what they're talking about. Primeval Health and Slayer stack bonus returned. Ooh, the Slayer thing is back. Burning bosses after 3 rounds of envoys should be just as easy as it is now, but burning him after just 1 or 2 rounds should be significantly more work. Okay, as it should have been from the jump. Envoys now spawn with friends out in the fronts rather than in the bank area. So they spawn somewhere else? I'm confused. So I'm trying to figure out if that means that the envoys don't spawn next to the primeval or if they spawn like in one of the 3 areas. I hope that's the case. And the fact that it says They have reduced health and are no longer affected by Slayer stacks and have varied elemental shields. I love the fact that they're making it to where you have to build your team. This is going to be a long video, guys. This is a big boy TWAB. Envoys put an invulnerability shield on Primeval. Okay. You must kill them both and remove it to damage the Primeval, forcing your team to go out and invade. Cool. Envoys respawn at 30% of the Primeval damage done. This increased by 10% every envoy respawn. Okay. So you have to do more damage to make them, or it requires less damage to make them spawn again. Okay. Primeval servitor boss is removed. Sweet. Since it is custom shielded mechanics conflicted with the new mechanics. Okay, cool. The Malfeasance quest starts on the first Primeval kill. Okay, that's good for the new lights. That's cool. Invasions. This is more for me. As we said above, a good invader should be able to turn the tide of a match, but a good invader should be no more important than any other equally skilled team member. Sorry, I'm running through this TWAB right now. We don't want a single good invader to completely dominate match outcome. It's your boy. And they certainly can right now. However, we still want a good invader to be able to delay a strong PvE team from finishing off the Primeval. Level advantage is now disabled for invader PvP. Damn. I feel attacked. It has actually been like this since the start of Beyond Light. Surprise. One of the moat phase invasions has been removed. Okay. Invasions now trigger at 40 and 80 moat thresholds. Dope. Not dope, but you know, I get it. Primeval phase invasions are unchanged. Okay, cool. Invasions can no longer be saved up. Use it or lose it, pal. Fuck. Invader no longer can see how many moats enemy players are carrying. What? That was the whole point of me being an invader. Dude. Oh, Bungie, no. No. You can still see the players through walls. Okay, that's nice. Just not while you are engaging your rocket tracking or using your sniper zoom. Damn. We found a bug with how the Primeval effect was being applied, which, depending on the sequence of timing of kills, would heal the Primeval for somewhere between 5 and 35%. We fixed it, and now invader kills heal the Primeval for exactly 27% every time. Sounds like a lot, but it actually has less than the optimal armor amount prior. We will be watching feedback. Tell us how many moats they have. That's so stupid. This is for your Gambit rewards. We're just going to breeze through this really quick. Focusing, you can focus the Gambit engram into either Gambit armor. Ooh. That's nice. You can focus the Gambit engram into either Gambit armor or Gambit weapons for 10k glimmer or 50 legendary shards. Gambit weapons include Crowd Pleaser, Bottom Dollar, Trinary System, Borrowed Time, and the Servant Leader. Let's fucking go. We can finally get it more consistently. Brand new Gambit weapons are drop only for a single season and then are available for focusing. Dope. We expect to expand the Drifter's focusing options further during upcoming seasons. Okay. Other Drifter changes. Bygone's Trust Bad Omens have been removed from the vendor. You can still get Bygones? End match drops. There is a Gambit memento for weapon crafting that can drop after ending match. Okay. Older Gambit shaders now have a small chance of dropping at the end of each match. Dope. Primeval Servitor cosmetic drops can now drop at the end of any match. The Future of Shell Ghost can now drop at the end of any match. Okay, cool. If you don't have the Ghost Shell, that's a good one. Yes, you can expect more rituals to get this treatment throughout the year, but we do not currently have any specific dates to share just yet. Stay tuned. Where's our PvP stuff? We're gonna skip over this Gambit lab stuff because this video is already 23 minutes long. Yep, Invasion Edition. Yep. What about the trials and what's next? Okay, final patch notes. Ritual rewards, starting with the Witch Queen, playlist rewards will be updated to grant ritual specific gear, weapons, mods, armor, and no longer be granting rewards. That's a typo. Be granting rewards from the general world pool. Okay, cool. Crucible will grant Crucible gear. Vanguard will grant Gambit will grant Gambit gear. Dope. Engram focusing is currently only available on Saint 14 and the Drifter for the ritual specific engrams. Dope. World engrams will continue to be granted at major ranks on ritual vendors just for a little variety. Gambit, Crucible, and Vanguard rituals are receiving updated armor rewards for a new expansion release. Dope. These share the same base appearance but have slight differences in decals and coloring. It's the same shit. Stop doing this, Bungie. Stop it. Just making, I mean, I guess, but no at the same time. Like, the problem with armor is it doesn't look cool enough from each individual vendor. They should not look the same. Each vendor should have its own specific aesthetic. And I get that, you know, develop time. I understand develop time. I understand game sizes. I understand all that good stuff. But the Vanguard should look like you play Vanguard stuff. The Crucible, especially since you're not giving us new maps, the Crucible stuff should look like Crucible stuff, and the Gambit stuff should look like Gambit stuff. There should not be any sharing between the, you know, the armor types or anything like that. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Eternity and Vostok coming back, stupid. I fucking hate it. Bungie, what are you doing? We've been asking for new PvP maps for years now, and you're bringing back 2 of the worst maps. Come on, do better. Eververse, no changes. Wait, what? Seriously? Yeah, there are no systematic changes to Eververse. If you buy silver, you buy silver. But what about Bright Dust? Any change to how much players will be earning? There are no changes to Bright Dust acquisition or totals compared to that of season 17 or 15. Sorry. Players will continue to earn Bright Dust from seasonal challenges, repeatable bounties, and blah, blah, blah. Please note this week brings the final drop of 700 Bright Dust in celebration of our 30th anniversary. Make sure to redeem it and offer it. Yep. Yo, this armor set, I will say, looks like this shit looks cool. Where is it on everything else? This shit looks dope. We'll go over the season pass changes in another video. This Destiny 2 mouse mat, though, I might need that. Long live the Queen. Twitch subscription bounty. That is a fucking sick emblem. So if you want to get subscribed to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/jtgooney_, link down in the description. Yeah, that's basically it. Just other stuff. The exorcism bug. Progression can be blocked if moving too quickly on the bridge encounter. Double back if blocked. Don't skip the final cutscene. We have disabled the option to join this activity in progress via matchmaking. Dope. Wayfinder's compass rotation. We have updated the mod rotation for the Wayfinder's compass inventory from a weekly rotation to a 2-day rotation until the launch of Witch Queen on February 2nd, which is a week from now, or less than a week from now. Last chance Bungie rewards, blah, 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 blah. And that's the end of the TWAB, guys. A lot of changes to Gambit. Some of them I don't agree with. Some of them I'm genuinely concerned about. Like the fact that invaders will no longer be able to see people's nameplates if they're aiming down sights, and the fact that they're taking away the mote count on enemy players. Come on, dude. Come on. Why? You know what? That's been this week at Bungie. We're at 27 minutes. So if you enjoyed the video, if you learned anything new, if you're as frustrated as I am, leave a comment down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. What the fuck was this? I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.